Good morning. Chair Bradley, Senators, thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning in support of Senate Bill 472, which proposes to remove the statute of Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith from Statuary Hall in Washington, D.C., and to replace it with a statute of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune. Erecting statues and monuments and memorials has a long history, and there is one account that records the journey of a people from bondage to freedom. And they came to a barrier. It was a river, and they considered it impassable and thought that it would be impossible to move to a place of freedom. However, when they stepped into the river, the flow of the water dried up, and they were able to cross into freedom from across the River Jordan. They were commanded during this journey to take with them stones and to use the stones when they reached the other side to create a memorial so that they would not forget their journey and others would be aware of their journey. And they were told that generations in the future would see the stones and would ask, "What mean ye by these stones?" Or in today's parlance, we might say, "Why is this significant?" And so when we have statutes and we have memorials and we have monuments, there are generally placards that explain the significance of the statute. We have in Statuary Hall in Washington, D.C., 2 statutes of individuals who had connections to the state of Florida. Every state gets 2. And we have Dr. John Gorey from Apalachicola, who invented air conditioning and refrigeration. And the nation owes a debt of gratitude to Dr. John Gorey. I really value him a lot. And then we have General Edmund Kirby Smith. And remember that the people who were moving into freedom were told that generations in the future would ask, "What mean ye by these stones? What is the significance?" And there are hundreds of individuals who walk through Statuary Hall every day, and they see the 2 individuals who represent the best that Florida has produced. And right now, those 2 are Gorey and Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith. And are we ready to provide the explanation that General Edmund Kirby Smith is indeed one of the best that Florida has offered to the nation? And of the 100 statutes that are there, the 2 that we have for Florida are representations of people of European ancestry. As you might imagine, most of the statutes that are in Statuary Hall are of men. And we're at a point in our history where we should recognize and embrace the diversity of our state. And it is the state that makes the decision. The federal government does not make the decision. The state makes the decision. The legislature of the state acts and determines who will represent Florida in Statuary Hall. There's one exception, and that is a statute of Rosa Parks, and that was commissioned and unveiled based on an act of Congress. The statute was unveiled December 1st, 2005. That was 50 years after Rosa Parks sat down on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama, and changed the course of history here in the United States of America. But it is the state that determines who those 2 representatives will be. It is not an individual. It is not a group. It is based on the act of the state legislature. And I'm here this morning to speak in support of the statute of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune. You've already heard a lot of biographical information about who she was and the impact that she had in the state of Florida. There are many people who call themselves Mary's babies, and those are graduates from Bethune-Cookman College and now Bethune-Cookman University. She was a woman who, shortly after emancipation, began to educate the children of former slaves. And so she was a visionary, and she had the let's say, timidity to think that she could found an educational institution, and she did that in 1904. And so many people have passed through the halls of Bethune-Cookman based on her actions. She had $1.50, that was her working capital, and she was able to recruit 5 little girls. So with $1.50 and 5 little girls, from that beginning, we now have Bethune-Cookman University. So she was an educator. You've already heard that she was an advisor to presidents. She was a person who did not give up when she came to the barrier, when she came to the river. She determined how it was that she would get over. And she and her girls baked sweet potato pies, they fried sandwiches, and they would go to Daytona Beach and sell those things to the rich individuals who were vacationing in Daytona Beach. That's Mary McLeod Bethune. And so when the young people come through Statuary Hall and they see the statute, they will ask, what is the significance of this statute? And so the state of Florida has an opportunity to communicate that in Florida, we value women, we value innovators, we value visionaries, we value diversity, we value individuals like Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, who will join Rosa Parks as one of the African-American females in Statuary Hall. And so I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you this morning and ask for your favorable vote on Senate Bill 472. Thank you. If you have questions, I'll respond to those.
Any questions? Senator Thompson, welcome back. Good
Thank
to see you
you.
today.
Glad to
Thanks
be
for
back.
visiting with us.
Thank you.